Hi, I'm Katelyn. A little over a month ago, a really good friend of mine was walking home from a mutual friend's house. It was 10 p.m. at night, and he had reached his neighborhood, and he was almost home, and he was approached by a 31-year-old man, Jose Gil. The two got into a conflict and a scuffle, and it turned physical. And Jose pulled out a knife, and he didn't stab my friend once, twice, or even 3 times, but he stabbed him 5 times in the chest. Jeremy was then rushed to the hospital, where he later died at 1:30 a.m. after hours of attempted resuscitation. Jose was arrested for murder, but he is undecided as to whether or not he will receive the death penalty or life in prison without the possibility of parole. According to Nanette Miranda, a journalist at ABC7 News, many young voters don't really know what they're going in to vote for. When they do vote for propositions and everything, they generally go with majority rule and what everybody else is doing, and that's the wrong way to go. And I'm one of them. I generally just kind of listen to what's on TV, and I don't really pay attention to the actual aspects of that proposition. So in this speech today, I'm going to explain to you the economics of Proposition 34. I'm going to do this by first explaining what Proposition 34 is, and then going to talk about the costs of the death penalty and conversely how much Prop 34 will cost taxpayers. And lastly, I'm going to talk about our judicial system in respect to the appeals process. So let's get started. What is Proposition 34? Proposition 34, according to the official California's voter guide, is the appeal of the death penalty. It will replace death sentences with life in prison without the possibility of parole, and it will also be coupled with a $100 million fund going to police officers to train them in how to handle rape and murder cases. A little history. The death penalty was reenacted in 1978, and since then only 14 people have been killed on the death penalty. All death row inmates are housed at San Quentin, California, and there's 746 people there currently. So what are the costs of the death penalty exactly? The death penalty currently, since 1978, has cost taxpayers $4 billion. And a single execution, we use the 3-drug method, a single execution costs $308 million. They get this number by dividing $4 billion by 14 people that have been executed. Currently, right now, death row inmates, we will pay $50,000 annually to house and care for death row inmates, and this includes health care and housing and feeding. And health care includes full dental and full medical, and simply older death row inmates cost more than everyone's do. Currently, 84 people have died before they've actually been put to death on death row. They died before their sentence could be carried out. Proposition 34 will cost taxpayers $50,000 extra annually to care for these inmates, and it will also cost us $100 million within a couple of years to keep paying for the cops and to train them on how to, handle rape or murder cases. But this is something that's already done all the time. We already do this, so it'll be coupled with an extra fund. Proposition 34 supporters say, though, that we'll be saving about $130 million annually just by getting rid of the death penalty. If you look at my little visual aid, this is the breakdown of how much the death penalty has cost us since 1978. It's pre-trial costs, appeals, state appeals, habeas corpus appeals, and the cost of incarceration. So as you can see, it costs a lot just to sentence somebody to death. It costs a lot of money, about $4.6 billion. And it costs so much because of the way that we handle our judicial system. Generally, on average, it'll take about 25 years for an appeal to be processed, and that's not okay. It shouldn't take that long, but every inmate, everybody has their constitutional right for when they appeal something, they have the right for it to be listened to. And so the solution to this, so it doesn't take so long, is that we can just easily fix the appeals process, make sure appeals courts can hear appeal cases and make sure that inmates are treated fairly and that their appeals are heard right away. Also, a simple solution also would be that we can just limit the time for certain types of appeals and not let people who've already filed appeals continue to refile appeals, so it's not taking so long for the appeals process and not wasting taxpayers' money. So in this speech, I explained to you what Proposition 34 was. I explained to you the costs of Prop 34 and also conversely the costs of the death penalty. And then I also talked to you about the judicial system in respects to the appeals process. And I hope that nothing that happened to my friend happens to any of you. It's a sad thing to go through, and when you guys go in and vote for Proposition 34 or any proposition, I hope that you're able to make the logical choice now that you've heard background on it. And I hope that no matter what happens, whether we vote yes on Prop 34 or we vote no on Prop 34, I know that justice will be served in the case with my friend Jeremy and the man who killed him, because either way, he's going to jail for life or he'll be sentenced to death. Thank you.